Hey everybody. So I know I told you that I was done making these videos, and I was 100% truthful. I'm not making any more PAX videos. But on the final day of PAX on Sunday, at least my final day of PAX, I went to something called the Seattle Indies Expo, and it is a exhibition of local games made by local Seattle video game developers that's held at a hotel a couple blocks away from PAX. And I'm super excited to go there because I've been kind of hanging out in these folks' Discord for a while. They've been really influential in kind of my game development. And it's just really cool to watch local people making some very, very impressive games. I didn't exactly know what to expect when I got there, and it just blew me away. Some of the games there are like the fact that they weren't just at PAX in the first place was amazing because these are high quality, impressive, amazing games that you don't think about that, any small indie developer, they live somewhere, and it just happens that a lot of them live in Seattle, and are making incredible games that I think you're going to be really impressed with. All right, this game is called Headliner, and it's a very interesting take on essentially like what do you do in a world if you control the media and have the ability to choose between two stories? Which one do you personally choose, and how does that influence the world? So the way it works is you are a kind of intern newspaper person working at this newspaper, and you'll get a set of articles on your desk, and you get to choose which one gets printed in the newspaper and which one gets rejected from the newspaper. And each one of those is going to be a choice. Like it's going to be, do you one of the very first ones I saw was in this time of fractured society, do we need a strong leader even though he's kind of a fascist, or should we elect a new leader who might be more understanding of people's needs in this time? And by making those choices, you influence the world around you. So, you spend all day at your desk making these decisions, and then on your walk home, you see the outcome of them. And kind of in this particular political world right now, it was a really interesting insight into the powers of a free press, and how those powers can both work and be abused. The other thing I'll tell you about this game is it doesn't look anything like this now. They've got a graphic designer who did just incredible, amazing work. The game doesn't need to be gorgeous because it's a game about news. It's a game about politics. It's a game with a message, but it looks gorgeous. They've totally redone everything. It looks absolutely incredible. So check this out. It's coming out October 3rd on the PC. I'm personally very, very much looking forward to it. It's a very interesting game. Really makes you think. I do not play a ton of mobile games personally, and I did not play a ton of mobile games at PAX, but this one really caught my eye. It's called Karts Food Fighters. The idea behind this is that every day when you're at lunch, you have the choice. And like for me, this is the literal truth. I can take an elevator down, walk through the parking garage, go out to the food trucks. Food trucks are awesome, full of great, interesting, local food that's probably healthy or healthy-ish. Or I can go to the vending machines at my work, and we've got a number of prepackaged sandwiches that I can choose from, and probably a Coke. And every day, those are my choices. Do I get food truck food, or do I go to McDonald's? And this is what that game is about. And you play the part of the food truck trying to fight back the evil junk food from people's lives. And so you throw out a bunch of, healthy crepes and apples and, some pancakes and some waffles, but they're high quality pancakes and waffles, probably whole grain. And fight back the evil junk food. And you can see as you fight them, all that other food will come out. That's like, basic, like, that junk food's made of real food too. So you can collect that and then make new food with it, and fight off the evil junk food empire. It's frantic, it's clicky, it's one of those games that like you're just going to waste a ton of time playing it, and all that time is going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to think a lot while playing it, but that's okay, and you'll just have a good time. It's available right now, iOS and Android. It is a free download. It does have some microtransactions, but they didn't appear to really get in the way too much. So check out Karts Food Fighters. All right, so you're probably watching this game and going like, what's going on, Cliff? Why are you showing me this like low res Atari-looking game. Let's get some gameplay. You look at this, you're like, what? What is this? And I will tell you that this is the game that I am most disappointed will probably not be out by Extra Life, because it's an 8-player game, and all you're trying to do is stay alive and win this race. And in a screen, the gravity will change, or the way you're going will change, or all of a sudden there'll be a pit you can't fall down, or all of a sudden you'll try and jump and there'll be another player on your head, and that forces you to lose. We played a ton of rounds of this, and it's just that perfect, up to 8 players, and it's that perfect couch co-op, just like everybody's screaming, everybody's trying to win, everybody's screaming when they win, and when they lose. I could have played this game all day, and to me, it's just a testament of, like, a game doesn't have to be gorgeous to be interesting and exciting. All those little figures you're seeing, their faces are customizable, their colors are customizable. So there's definitely some customization to this. But what really, really wins is the gameplay. So this is called Steeplechase, and it's going to be out probably next year, maybe this year. It's a PC game, and God, it was fun. So take a look at Steeplechase when it comes out if you want some co-op, couch madness. Wintermoor Tactics Club is a incredibly interesting game that I love. I love the story of it. So it's about a bunch of kids at a boarding school that play like a D&D-esque game called, and it's and they do it as part of their tactics club. So, they're playing these games, they're doing these stories. There's kind of there's a story to this game too, people interacting, and the story of these kids actually living at this boarding school. But what brings them together is this tactics club. And then one day their evil principal says, hey, you guys are all gonna have to participate in this school-wide snowball fight, but if you lose, we're getting rid of your tactics club. And so they're then using the tactics they learn in their D&D sessions to learn how to win at the tactics of a snowball fight. And there's interpersonal stories and all that kind of stuff. It was such a fun game to play, and such a unique idea and unique story. I'm really excited about it. It's coming out soon-ish. I was talking mostly to the composer of the game, and it was like nailing down a release date. It was like soon-ish. Maybe this year, probably next year, but just an enjoyable game with a fun story, but also that really made you think. I really, really like this. Again, called Wintermoor Tactics Club. All right, Collidalot. This is a game that I have been personally following for quite a while now. I played it the first time at PAX last year. It's a bunch of local guys putting this together. They're all super cool. Grunka Munka Games. Come on, that name is fantastic. Again, this is another couch co-op game that you are going to want to play. I really want to play for PAX East. PAX East. I really want to play it for Extra Life. I'm hoping it's available. It's coming out for the Switch and eventually PC. The entire idea is you play one of these. I don't even know what those things are, but you play one of them. And wait, is there an HD quality version of this? Anyway, let's start that sucker over. All right, this game is called Collidalot. It's a game that I have really been keeping my eye on for a while now. Played it for the first time at PAX last year, and these guys are just cool. Grunka Munka Games, which is maybe the best developer studio name I've ever heard. They're local dudes who all met at school and made this game as part of kind of their college project. The idea is each one of those little, I don't know, robot-y vehicle things draws paint behind it, and your goal is just to draw the most paint on those rails as you can while preventing other people from doing the same thing. Obviously, it is frantic 4-player co-op that is coming out on the Switch very soon. I asked them if it was going to come before Extra Life because I really want to play this game at Extra Life, and they're like, well, maybe. So it could happen. It's so much fun. I've played, I don't even know how many times I've played this game, and every single time it never disappoints. It's going to be perfect for the Switch. It's going to be perfect to take along with you and play on the little screen. It's going to be perfect on the TV with friends on the couch. I just can't tell you how much I've enjoyed playing Collidalot every single time I've had the opportunity to play it. They had it at PAX as well. I played it at both, actually. That's how much I liked it. I played it at PAX and at 6. They had like an arcade cabinet with it. You could play it at PAX. It was very cool. So keep an eye out for we're going to end on a kind of chill game. This is called Nectar Vector. Definitely has a nice kind of like late 60s chill vibe, and that's really what the game about. One thing I will tell you is the game looks nothing like this anymore. It is absolutely stunning. They've got some great artists working on it now, and now you're not butterflies, you're hummingbirds. So games change a little bit, but the entire idea behind the game is you're flying around this arena and you're picking up flowers. And those flowers trail behind you, and the more you pick up, the slower you go. And then you have to go back to your home base, your home flower, and drop off those flowers, and that gives you points. And so what's tricky, though, is like you just saw there, is you can steal the flowers from other, in this case, butterflies, but in the game now, hummingbirds. And so it's kind of that risk reward. Like, do I want to get a big tail behind me of flowers? Or do I want to, get two and dump them off, and two and dump them off? And, there's a strategy to both. You have some different power-ups that you can use to help evade them, some speed power-ups, some, all sorts of different things to kind of complicate the game and make your choices a little harder. But overall, it is a super fun game, and just one of those like super chill, up to 4 players on your couch, just do round after round after round. Very, very enjoyable. It is called Nectar Vector. So coming out on Steam soonish. So end of this year, early next year. So this last game I'm going to talk about, I wasn't even sure if I was going to add it because it's like probably never a game you're going to play at your house. It's called Puppet Pandemonium, and I'll post a couple videos that I took probably on our Twitter page as well. Literally, the game revolves around 2 players going up and they play this puppet. And there's one for each, and you have like a teleprompter that tells you what to say, and you play kind of the MCs of the game. But on top of your head, you've got a button that actually control stuff in the game world too. So you'll hit it to kind of move forward to the next page, and you'll hit it at different parts of the game as well. And then in front of you, there was a bunch of people playing on the floor on this table that had a ton of buttons like built into the table. And as you ran through the game, there was kind of this audience interaction as you played. And so the puppets are hitting their heads, they're telling stories. The people on the ground are hitting buttons to fire lasers at evil T-Rex like judges and the head of the FCC. And there was like some really kind of clever political messages about fascism. It was really, really enjoyable. Like I said, you're never going to play this game in your house. Like you're never going to get this set up in your home. I'm sorry. Or maybe you will. I mean, I never really thought people would, bring like a full-size drum set into their house for Guitar Hero either, but, things happen. But this is just such a fascinating look at what games can be, and how maybe that we can think about games in different ways. This was so much fun. My kid played it. He was on the floor and had such a good time. And everyone that was doing it looked like they were having a great time. And, the dudes with the puppets were making funny voices and people were yelling and screaming. It was one of the coolest things I have ever seen. So I guess if you're ever anywhere and hear like, oh my gosh, hey, Puppet Pandemonium's happening somewhere, go there and watch it because it was really, really cool. So this is wrapping up PAX for now. So we got PAX, we got 6. I'm not going to make any more videos about video game conventions happening in Seattle until at least next year. And who knows, maybe I'll do this next year, maybe we'll do something different. I don't know. Every year I think like, man, I'm going to go interview developers, and then I get there and it's so overwhelming and loud that my brain shuts down, and so I never actually do it. But who knows, maybe next year Adam will not travel during PAX and we can make him go do interviews because he's way better than I am too. This was super fun. I love PAX. I love getting to see video games. People are always like, oh my gosh, did you go see the thing at Nintendo or at Xbox? I'm like, hell no. I went and saw like 50 brand new indie games that I would never hear of otherwise. I see things that are going to come out for the next year or two, and I'm just so tickled when they actually release and I get to play them for real at home. So thank you for watching these videos. Thank you to all the wonderful developers at PAX and 6 who make amazing games and, spend their lives doing these games that are hard. And, game development is it has to be a passion because it's so difficult and it's so unpredictable, and making games is so much harder than you or I think, whether you're writing games, whether you're making graphics, whether you're making music, or you're a programmer or a designer or whatever. It's a really hard gig, and especially these 6 games, like these are passion projects. Most of these people are not full-time game developers. This is something that they're doing, nights and weekends, like me making this video right now. So if you can buy indie games because they support people who are just doing cool imaginative things in sometimes their spare time, sometimes their full time, and it's cool to be able to support them and play games that are maybe a little outside the realm of whatever Ubisoft or EA or even Microsoft or Sony are putting out. But these same people are being supported too by ID at Xbox. So ID at Xbox had a booth there where I got a bunch of free buttons. So if you can find indie games you like, if you can find indie developers that you like, check them out. Give them your money, or just give them your praise. Follow them on Twitter. Tell them how much you like their game. Retweet their new videos, retweet their new graphics, retweet the GIFs that they put out, and help these guys get the audience that they really deserve. So for now, I am Cliff from Byte Me Podcast. You can follow us at bytemepodcast.com, and thank you so much for everything you do.